The African continent has been classified as the worst affected by the HIV and AIDS pandemic. Close to 70% of infected persons, that is, 25 million of its total population, are living with AIDS. That notwithstanding, the dream of a prosperous Africa, capable of facing the challenges of globalization, urged the first ladies of the continent, under the chairperson of Mrs. Chantal Biya, to hold a mini-summit in Yaoundé on the sideline of the 21st Africa Franc Summit of Heads of State in January 2001.
In the year 2000, the concern for the fight against HIV was very prevailing, very predominant. And there was very frequent calls made by international communities to first ladies in Africa, trying to incite them to play a role, to do something, because the moral audience was recognized. And then the First Lady of Cameroon could not remain untouched, so she was very sensitized by that message, by those calls, and then she convened her colleagues, other First Ladies of Africa, to come and play the role here in Yaoundé within the framework of African Synergy, an association called African Synergy Against AIDS and Suffering.
The supreme organ of this Pan-African non-governmental organization is the Conference of First Ladies. The first took place in Yaoundé in 2002, the next in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso in 2005, and in Niamey, Niger in 2007. Mrs. Chantal Biya was at the conference of the Association of French Pharmaceutical Industries, abbreviated LIM, in Geneva in 2005.
Conscious of the damaging effects of the HIV and AIDS pandemic and other endemic diseases, our refusal to remain indifferent to human suffering, our determination to unite forces to combat this calamity has triumphed in creating African Synergy, a mobilizing force to reckon with, and an international network of solidarity. We First Ladies have agreed to constitute a major force to support our spouses, governments, and the civil society to ameliorate the health and well-being of the African population.
The city of Rome in Italy also hosted the Executive Bureau of African Synergy. This was in 2007, during which they participated in the First Ladies Conference on Health Governance in Africa. The visit of the Executive Secretary, Mr. Jean-Stéphane Biacha, to Brazil in 2010 and Israel in 2011 was in line with their program to mobilize international experts for the amelioration of health systems in Africa. The Chantal Biya International Reference Center, inaugurated on the 23rd of February 2006, is the outcome of the advocacy of First Ladies. Its well-equipped laboratories provide a conducive platform for quality research on the AIDS virus and sexually transmissible infections in the continent. Amongst the members of its scientific committee are two Nobel Prize laureates for medicine, namely Professor Luc Montagnier of French nationality and the American-born Richard Roberts, laureate 1993.
I've insisted on two major goals for the time being, which are the AIDS, of course, the cure of AIDS, and especially in this country, the care of children infected with HIV, how to reduce the transmission from the mother to child, and also how to fight the variant of the virus which are becoming resistant to the treatment.
Since its creation 10 years ago, African Synergy has been involved in the prevention of the mother-to-child transmission of the AIDS virus.
This is one of the domains in which we are very optimistic that if all efforts are carried out, if all efforts are made, all the necessary strategies carried out, then we can sort of prevent this transmission from happening.
So far, training sessions have been organized in 6 African countries: the Republics of Guinea, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, Burundi, and Cameroon. Through partnership with UNAIDS, African Synergy brilliantly executed the project. The First Ladies have been identified in their leadership role to eliminate the mother-to-child transmission of the AIDS virus. At the Yaoundé Lycée Général Leclerc, African Synergy has been organizing educative talks, debates, and exchanges in a bid to sensitize the students on the devastating effects of AIDS. The campaigns, dubbed AIDS-Free Holidays and Campus Free of AIDS, have been targeting the school milieu and universities. African Synergy has also been researching on the reduction of maternal and infant mortality in the continent. The third Conference of First Ladies, held in Niamey in 2007, had as theme, "Be Born and Grow in Africa, a Challenge for the Health Systems." In April 2009, during the sunny California weather, close to 20 African First Ladies traveled to Los Angeles in the United States of America for the Summit on Health Leadership in Africa. It was jointly organized with an American non-governmental organization dubbed U.S. Doctors for Africa. In 3 African countries, namely Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Congo-Brazzaville, African Synergy and the United Nations Fund for Population, UNFPA, have put in place the KAMA program, a campaign to accelerate the reduction of maternal mortality in Africa. With the financial and technical support of the FAO, the project dubbed Junior Farmer Life Skills has successfully involved vulnerable youths in agriculture. Orphans and vulnerable children have been receiving regular support from the association. African Synergy has also been campaigning on the proper use of medication in the society. This educative and therapeutic program has been targeting children, youths, and around the school milieu. It was launched in Cameroon in 2006 through 2007 and Burkina Faso in 2008 through 2010.
There are a lot of illicit medications in circulation, and for us, it is our duty to ensure that the population stays healthy by keeping away from these drugs that have negative effects.
The campaign against epilepsy took place in Senegal, while that against cancer in Cameroon. It was made possible thanks to the donation of medication from the multinational pharmaceutical firm Sanofi. Since the creation of African Synergy 10 years ago, it has succeeded to establish both national and international credibility and reputation. The former Secretary General of UNESCO, Koichiro Matsura, visited African Synergy in February 2009. Next in line was Michel Katsakin of the Global Fund, followed by Michel Sidibe, the Executive Director of UNAIDS. In December 2010, Ted Alemayo, the President and founder of the American-based non-governmental organization U.S. Doctors for Africa, was in Cameroon. In February 2012, Mamadou Diallo, UNAIDS Regional Bureau Director for West and Central Africa, visited African Synergy.
We have closely worked with Synergies Africaines in the past decade, and we've seen them through their journey from 2002 until now, and all the work that they have done to try to give voice to the voiceless, to try to bring to the fore the suffering of women and children, not only in their respective countries, but also all over Africa.
As of date, some 30 African First Ladies have signed the membership register and adhered to the statutes, while there are 27 active members. The mobilization of First Ladies is growing stronger. The First Lady of Gabon, Sylvia Mbongo Odimba, joined the caravan in August 2010.
How can we accept that a woman dies during childbirth? Is it normal to have this increasing rate of maternal and infant mortality? It is because of this state of affairs that I accept to adhere to African synergy.
In April 2011 in Guinea-Conakry, the present First Lady of Guinea, Mrs. Condé Djenakaba, signed the membership register. The First Lady of Niger became a member by signing the membership register in November 2012. Through its international advocacy, which stands out as a blueprint, African Synergy has been identified by the United Nations for its efforts to attain the Millennium Development Goals.